You know who he is, guys. Swaggle Haas. Mickey, what's going on, my man?
What's up, Busy? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for doing this. Talk to me, man. What's been going on? How you been enjoying New York? Let's start with that part.
New York is awesome.
Yeah.
New York is the best city in the world.
You,
I couldn't.
I gotta clip that.
But it is really special. It's awesome being here. New York Comic Con. This is really my first time. I've been here one time before, but it was years and years ago before I was really back in the comics. So this is my first really experiencing New York Comic Con.
Like, when would you say you were here?
2016, and that was like kind of before I was really back into comic books. And I went one day and I just kind of did a lap and wasn't really didn't know where to go.
16 was a big one too.
Yeah.
So I've been going to ever since number one.
Oh wow.
So and talking about reporting, if we had the type of reporting we have now, we had. It was a fire hazard. It was downstairs. You know where Artist Alley is right now?
Oh yeah.
That was Comic Con.
Really?
That was Comic Con, and what they did is, you see the table set up?
Yeah.
That was a table set up for everybody. And it was just lines and lines and lines. And you'll have guys like John Romita Jr. sitting next to like a David Finch, and all the like Jim Lee sitting in this corner and stuff like that. And Stan Lee was the guest of honor.
Yeah.
And you needed a ticket to get in.
Times have changed.
Yes, times have changed. CGC was there though.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll tell you the story offline because I'm sure these guys heard the story on your time. But as far as in comparison, now you're from the West Coast.
Yeah.
And in comparison to what you see in San Diego, how would you compare San Diego to New York? Obviously, San Diego has more of a movie presence than this place does.
Yeah. Yeah, they're similar and different. I mean, I think that they're both like gigantic events with a lot of like fanfare, a lot of giant activations. All the biggest things are here. I would say that the biggest differences to me is I actually think that the interior floors of New York are busier because San Diego kind of spills out a little bit.
Yeah.
Here, like Manhattan, once you kind of go out, Manhattan becomes Manhattan.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are sort of inside here, and that's either good or bad. I mean, depending on what you want. But like, everyone is here. San Diego, people kind of walk in the gas lamp, and so the crowd thins out a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is recent though. They added the addition, that building, that's an addition where the Empire Stage is. That's an addition. That wasn't there. And prior to that time, what they would do is they would rent out like Hammerstein Ballroom or something like that to do certain events that you had to be a fan to really do them.
Right.
Because they didn't want people to actually leave the place.
Right.
So it'll still be like a movie or something like that, or an anime or anything of that nature, but nothing to the point like we don't want you to leave.
Right.
So we're gonna do something because we don't have the space for it.
Right.
And we know there's a fandom for it. So it's more of a niche fandom. Tell me a little bit more about what you see as far as comic books go in a con that, though it's called Comic Con, let's be honest, this is more of a pop culture event.
It's definitely more a pop culture con than it is comic. Because I mean, there's a lot of comic books here.
Yeah.
But if we're thinking of comics like, a lot of the stuff that we talk about, the vintage section, Silver Age, Golden Age, so on and so forth. There's other shows that probably have a bigger presence with more comic book vendors. This one actually has, a decent amount of people are here, and it's always fun, to see the Heritage and the Comic Connects and all of them have, the Action Comics ones and stuff like that. So it's still a lot of fun, but just certainly Comic Con is less about the vintage side of things as it maybe used to be.
Yeah, but what's really great is that you still have like the publishers.
Yes.
Right? So Marvel always has this huge booth in the same area. They never leave. DC's in the facility. They don't really have a space.
Right.
But you feel them.
Yeah.
Right? And they
have panels and stuff too.
They got panels and stuff like that. They just dropped the news about DC Vertical, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
DC Vertical. Smart move, DC. I feel like they're listening to us now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now let's move over to something that I guess people know, but I don't think people really talk about when they think about you, and that's, what is it? Your comic book, Sanity, right?
Yeah, Sanity.
Not a wrestling related topic, right?
No, not wrestling related, but it's a.
You got Phil Jimenez right there. I'm sorry about that.
Nice.
We got Phil Jimenez right over there.
That's what happened. You always have celebrities, just like they just want.
Yeah, and
they're like us too.
Where were we?
Sanity.
Sanity. Okay, talk to me about Sanity.
Yeah, so it's a comic book. It's written by me. You know, in my YouTube channel, what I always say is like we spend a lot of time talking about the vintage side, and so outside of my YouTube persona, I kind of work in film and entertainment. I do screenwriting, so I thought, okay, maybe I can write a comic book. You know, do something that's a passion project, something I love, and so I wanted to write something that was kind of a throwback homage to the vintage stuff comics I love, the old school detective pulp style comic book. So like in Sanity, it's a Lovecraftian detective noir. And you know, it's coming out on Vivi. So here this weekend. So
And we're in the Vivi booth right there. As you can tell, we're in the Vivi booth.
So it's pretty exciting. I feel really honored that I get to be part of it and be on the platform, and I'm just thrilled that people are open to checking it out and reading it. And those that have read it have enjoyed it, and I just feel lucky to be able to work on it.
How does it feel being now on the other side of the table? Now, you know, you got a little celebrity thing going on already. I would say, you know, you're in it. People know you. You know, they know you. I know what you're saying. But how does it feel to be on the other side of the table as a creator now? You know, even to the extent of I do comic books now. I like to talk about comics, but I've actually now done comics.
Yes. It's a bit surreal. I mean, it's very creatively satisfying, you know, to be able to make something and like come out with a story and have a story to tell and have people enjoy it. But it also gives me just incredible admiration for the people that do it. Because now that I've, you know, had skin in the game, I'm like, wow, this is so difficult. Like everything that it takes to, you know, put it all together, and just an appreciation for all the people involved in it, from the lettering to the graphic design to the coloring. It's like, you know, we give a lot of, you know, credit to the artists and the writers, but there's a whole, it takes
that letterer needs some love too, man.
The letterers need love. It takes truly a team to make the entire story, and so it just gives me a really, you know, insight into that, and I have a lot of respect for the people that work on comics.
Awesome. Now, when you were doing the script, you doing traditional script style, or you decided Marvel style?
So I did it. To be honest, I think when I probably just looked it up, I was like, Google, you know, comic book scripts, and I just looked at what they look like, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll do this one. You know, so it's probably, you know, like an indie style of comic writing, which I think is kind of interesting, because I think in comic book writing, it's not so formula. Like there's a lot of people that have different techniques.
Yeah. So there is a difference between a Stan Lee Marvel method versus Peter David Alan Moore method.
Right.
Like Alan Moore, he goes a little overkill in his way of putting out information, but that's how we got Watchmen. So I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think whatever he's doing, keep doing it.
Yeah. Well, if he is doing it, but we love you, Alan. Do not do anything to us. Yeah. He's a wizard. So, but one last thing. Tell the world about Sanity and who's working on it and where people can find it.
Yeah. Sanity, once again, it's a Lovecraftian pulp adventure about a detective in the 1930s hired to investigate a mysterious disappearance of a very famous Hollywood socialite, and finds kind of creepy stuff along the way. So it's a lot of fun. It's coming out on Vivi as a drop on Sunday, October 21st.
Ooh.
So definitely go check it out. And then, you know, I did the original Kickstarter run for issues 1 through 3. So those are getting fulfilled to the Kickstarter backers, and hopefully I can have some physical retail books available soon. So stay tuned for that.
And where can I find you on YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube is Swagglehos. I think if you just type that in, you'll be able to find me. I talk a lot about vintage collecting and that side of the hobby. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, you know, check it out, and maybe you'll enjoy the YouTube.
Yeah. We'll see you guys. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the Izzyverse NYC channel for more adventures and content, and a chance to snag this exclusive New York Comic Con 2024 Amazing Spider-Man with cover art by the legendary Frank Miller. Just drop a comment below. Your luck could be as amazing as Spidey, and I'll see you in the next one. Excelsior.